The United States is also deploying a new generation of subs, the Virginia class. The U.S. Navy commissioned the world's first nuclear submarine in the 1950s, and Don Daler is standing on it in Groton, Connecticut.
Over the past decade, the undersea domain has quietly become one of the most contested regions of modern warfare. Nations once focused almost exclusively on surface fleets are now racing to dominate what lies beneath the waves. In this shifting maritime landscape, the United States finds itself both defending its lead and simultaneously confronting rising challengers that are rewriting the rules of submarine warfare. Today, we turn our attention to the latest addition to America's submarine fleet, a platform purpose-built to project power, deter adversaries, and operate unseen in the deepest oceans. Why does this boat matter? What capabilities does it bring? And how might it alter the strategic balance in places like the South China Sea, the Atlantic approaches, or under the polar ice? In the next several minutes, we'll dissect key features, doctrine changes, cost versus value, global context, and what this means for U.S. naval dominance. Stick around as we cover this new submarine from hull to hull, from mission sets to implications. The ocean has always been a silent battlefield, a place where strength is measured not by size or noise, but by the ability to remain unseen. When the United States unveils a new submarine, it sends ripples through that quiet world. Beneath the surface lies a realm where technology, secrecy, and strategy converge, and the introduction of a new vessel is far more than a naval update. It's a message. For the U.S. Navy, submarines are the invisible hand of power, capable of striking, watching, and deterring without ever being detected. In a time when great power competition is heating beneath the waves, every new American submarine represents a renewed assertion of dominance in the most elusive and unforgiving environment on Earth. The recent unveiling of the USS New Jersey SSN 796, the newest Virginia-class fast-attack submarine, embodies this intent. Measuring around 377 feet long with a beam of about 34 feet, it carries a crew of roughly 135 sailors and can dive beyond 800 feet while reaching speeds exceeding 25 knots. But those numbers barely scratch the surface of its significance. What makes the USS New Jersey more than just another entry in the Navy's fleet is its purpose and the broader shift it represents. It's not simply a weapon, it's a strategic instrument designed for an evolving kind of warfare, one where undersea superiority decides who controls the seas above. The Virginia class is designed to be everything its adversaries fear most: unpredictable, undetectable, and adaptable. Built for both deep ocean and coastal operations, it can perform missions ranging from anti-submarine and anti-ship warfare to intelligence gathering, strike operations, and deploying special operations forces. It's capable of launching Tomahawk cruise missiles from vertical launch tubes, striking land targets hundreds of miles away, or releasing unmanned undersea vehicles for surveillance and reconnaissance. The result is a vessel that blurs the boundaries between hunter, spy, and strike platform. This adaptability is what keeps rival nations awake at night, because they can never be certain where it is, what it's doing, or what it's preparing to do next. Stealth remains the heart of what makes this submarine so formidable. The true details of its acoustic signature are classified, but it's known that every generation of U.S. submarines has taken quieting technology to new extremes. From advanced hull coatings that absorb sound to isolated machinery systems that minimize noise, these subs move through the deep like ghosts. In an era where detection technologies are evolving rapidly, staying silent is survival. The USS New Jersey pushes that principle further, making it exponentially harder for any adversary to locate, track, or neutralize. This forces potential opponents to scatter their anti-submarine defenses, pour billions into sonar networks, and still face the chilling uncertainty of what might be lurking undetected nearby. Then there's endurance. Nuclear propulsion gives the submarine almost limitless range and the ability to remain submerged for months. It doesn't need to surface for air or fuel, which means it can wait, silent and unseen, anywhere in the world. It can slip through contested choke points, monitor enemy fleets, or position itself for a precision strike long before anyone realizes it's there. That kind of endurance changes strategy. Adversaries can no longer assume any ocean is safe, any coast unreachable, or any moment free from American observation. The terrifying aspect goes beyond raw capability. It lies in the psychological and strategic impact. Knowing that a submarine like the USS New Jersey could be operating undetected anywhere on the globe alters how adversaries plan and move. It forces them to think defensively, to spread thin across vast areas of ocean, and to accept that even in peacetime, the deep sea might hold a hidden threat. In this sense, deterrence isn't just about the weapons on board, it's about the uncertainty they create. The United States doesn't need to show force when it can imply it. The unknown becomes a weapon in itself. At the same time, this submarine represents a statement of continuity and ambition. The U.S. is not only expanding the Virginia-class program, but also developing the Columbia-class ballistic missile submarines and the next-generation SSNX attack subs. Each represents a different layer of undersea strategy. Some focused on nuclear deterrence, others on precision warfare and covert operations. Together, they form a network of undersea dominance that few nations can even attempt to rival. For adversaries, this isn't just about one submarine, it's about the industrial and technological engine behind it. The fact that the United States continues to build, innovate, and modernize despite challenges and cost overruns, signaling a long-term commitment to undersea supremacy. From a geopolitical perspective, every time a new U.S. submarine joins the fleet, it reshapes the balance of power. Nations like China and Russia have invested heavily in anti-submarine warfare, trying to close the gap, but each advancement in American design pushes that goal further out of reach. The Virginia-class boats, including the USS New Jersey, carry technology that integrates intelligence, surveillance, and strike capabilities into one stealth platform. That integration makes it impossible for adversaries to predict or prepare for its full range of missions. It's not the loud, visible weapons that instill the most fear. It's the quiet ones, the ones you never hear coming. For the American public, the commissioning of such a submarine may seem like a distant event, but for those who study global security, it's a moment of immense consequence. Beneath the ceremonies and speeches lies a stark message. The undersea arena is where the future of naval warfare is being shaped. The USS New Jersey is both a product of that race and a symbol of its acceleration. The quiet power of the submarine fleet ensures that the U.S. Navy can project strength across the globe without firing a shot. It gives policymakers leverage and adversaries pause, and it reminds the world that beneath the calm surface of the oceans, a silent struggle continues. Every new submarine and every advancement in stealth or endurance tilts that struggle further in America's favor. That's why this vessel, and the class it belongs to, doesn't just command respect, it provokes unease. Because in the deep, unseen world where power hides, the appearance of a new American submarine is more than an event. It's a warning that the silent dominance of the United States beneath the waves is far from over. The unveiling of a new American submarine isn't just about engineering triumphs or naval tradition. It's about power, strategy, and the enormous costs and choices that define military dominance. Every submarine represents billions of dollars in investment, years of design, and thousands of skilled workers across U.S. shipyards and defense industries. The Virginia-class fast-attack submarines, especially the advanced Block V versions, cost roughly $3.2 billion each, a price tag that reflects not only the vessel itself, but also the vast ecosystem that sustains it: steel suppliers, nuclear engineers, electronics firms, shipbuilders, and highly trained sailors. Unlike conventional diesel-electric submarines or those with air-independent propulsion systems that can cost a fraction of that, nuclear-powered submarines offer unmatched global endurance, speed, and operational flexibility. They can stay submerged indefinitely, travel across oceans without refueling, and operate from the Arctic to the South China Sea. For the U.S. Navy, which must project power across every ocean, this investment is not a luxury. It's a necessity. But with that cost comes a complex web of trade-offs. Maintaining this nuclear fleet means balancing priorities across the defense budget, ensuring industrial capacity, and keeping enough trained personnel to operate, maintain, and modernize the force. Every submarine added to the fleet sustains thousands of jobs and keeps America's industrial base alive. But it also pushes the defense budget to its limits. Yet that imbalance, where the U.S. can afford to build and sustain such advanced vessels while many rivals cannot, becomes part of its deterrence. When adversaries look at the price tag and the capability, they see more than just a ship. They see a gap they might never close. The broader undersea contest reveals why these submarines are so strategically vital. In the Indo-Pacific, the seabed is becoming one of the most contested regions on Earth. China's rapid expansion of its navy, its development of advanced submarines, and its deployment of anti-access systems across the South China Sea and Taiwan Strait have transformed the region into a high-stakes arena. The U.S. response, embodied by the new Virginia-class subs, ensures freedom of movement and intelligence gathering even in waters heavily monitored by Chinese sensors and aircraft. Beneath those contested seas, these submarines give the U.S. the ability to operate unseen, to strike if needed, and to maintain presence without escalation. Across the Atlantic and Arctic, the story is just as intense. Russia continues to deploy advanced nuclear submarines, many armed with long-range missiles that threaten both Europe and North America. The new U.S. fast-attack submarines counter that threat by tracking, shadowing, and deterring these adversaries before they can position themselves. They also provide reassurance to NATO allies who depend on American undersea capabilities to keep sea lanes open and secure. Each time a U.S. submarine quietly slips beneath the ice or patrols the North Atlantic, it sends a message that no adversary can move unseen. Alliances add another dimension to this contest. U.S. submarines often operate alongside allied navies or from forward bases in regions like Guam, Japan, and the UK, creating a seamless web of deterrence. Even the suspicion that a U.S. submarine might be nearby can alter an adversary's behavior, forcing them to spread their forces thin and constantly watch the depths. The psychological edge of uncertainty becomes a weapon in itself. Meanwhile, technology continues to evolve on both sides. As America refines its submarine fleet, potential rivals are developing unmanned underwater vehicles, swarms, and advanced anti-submarine warfare sensors. The race is constant and unforgiving. There's no standing still in the undersea domain. From the perspective of America's rivals, the new submarine introduces several chilling realities. It is unpredictable. It could be anywhere at any time. Its silence makes it nearly impossible to detect until it's too late. Its presence means fewer safe zones, shorter reaction times, and constant vigilance. It can threaten key naval assets, ports, or missile submarines deep within enemy waters. For adversaries, defending against this kind of unseen power requires massive investments in sonar networks, patrol aircraft, and surface ships, all to counter something they might never even detect. The burden of constant readiness drains resources and shifts strategic focus, all while the submarine quietly waits in the depths. For the United States, leveraging this asset means using it as both a shield and a signal. These submarines will be deployed forward, often unseen but always capable, projecting presence and deterrence in volatile regions. Their integration with surface ships, aircraft, satellites, and cyber assets creates a multi-domain defense network that few nations can match. They'll gather intelligence, monitor undersea movements, and stand ready to act long before any open conflict. But equally important is sustaining this capability, keeping production lines open, updating systems, and training new crews so that the advantage remains long-term, not fleeting. The unspoken message to adversaries is clear. America's submarines may be silent, but they are always there. Even so, no system is without its limits. Operating undetected in heavily monitored waters is becoming increasingly difficult as detection technologies evolve. Maintaining such advanced vessels requires enormous budgets, and delays in next-generation programs like the SSNX raise concerns about maintaining the edge. Logistics, maintenance, and crew readiness remain constant challenges. Adversaries are adapting too, turning to asymmetric tactics such as deploying cheap underwater drones, massive sensor grids, and advanced mines that can complicate U.S. operations. A submarine is only as effective as the doctrine guiding it. Without coordinated strategy and allied integration, even the best vessel can be isolated. Still, the implications of this program reach far beyond a single ship. Submarines like the USS New Jersey are pillars of U.S. naval strategy, central to maintaining undersea dominance and ensuring that no rival can control the oceans. They strengthen alliances, allowing partner navies to operate more confidently and contribute to shared deterrence. They safeguard maritime access, ensuring that sea lanes vital for global trade and military logistics remain open. Their very existence raises the cost of competition, forcing rivals to spend heavily on detection and defense just to keep pace. Each new submarine reinforces America's message to the world. Control of the oceans, above and below, remains firmly within reach. Looking forward, what happens next will determine whether this terrifying submarine is just a headline or the beginning of a deeper transformation in undersea warfare. Much will depend on how many of these new boats are produced, how quickly they enter service, and how well the U.S. maintains its shipyard capacity. Observers will watch closely how adversaries respond, whether by investing in cheaper stealth submarines, unmanned systems, or dense detection networks. The evolution of doctrine and technology, especially in the Indo-Pacific and Atlantic regions, will shape the next era of undersea power. The future may bring even quieter propulsion, more advanced sensors, and submarines capable of deploying their own fleets of autonomous vehicles. What remains certain is that beneath the surface of every ocean, an invisible contest continues, silent, relentless, and decisive. The newest American submarine is not just a vessel of steel and circuitry. It is a symbol of enduring strength and intent, a reminder that in the depths where sunlight fades, U.S. power endures, unseen yet unmistakable. That wraps up our deep dive into the new U.S. submarine that has the global undersea community on notice. If you found the analysis useful and want to stay updated on naval developments and strategic shifts beneath the waves, please hit the like button, leave a comment down below with your thoughts on which theater this submarine matters most in, and subscribe so you don't miss future videos breaking down the next generation of maritime power platforms. Thanks for watching.